Submission Radio here with Junior Santos, head of UFC Adelaide this weekend against Tai Tuivasa, brought to you by Musashi. Junior, it's been an exciting time here in Australia for you. It's a long flight, but you're hugging kangaroos and taking nice family portraits with Tai Tuivasa. Has the trip sort of met your expectations thus far?
Well, it's been.
What's the kangaroos ahead?
It's we are thinking about still. Actually, it's been good, to be here. Adelaide is a beautiful city. It's my first time here, and also the people from here, they're nice, with me. Everybody knows a lot about MMA, and it's good, But that photographer that they brought to take pictures of us, I don't know if he knew that we are fighting against each other because
Thought it was a cooking paper or something.
He handed me the baby kangaroo, and then I was holding the baby kangaroo, and he brought Tai Tuivasa, and now you hug Junior. So what is that? This is a family picture, not a fighting picture. But everybody was laughing a lot, and it was good, a good energy for the beginning of the week.
It almost turned into like a custody battle for the kangaroo. What was your initial reaction meeting Tai? Because heading into this, you guys sort of had a bit of back and forth. He was putting up like memes about you, saying some things. So when you came all the way to Australia and first met him, what was that like? And what were you expecting from him? Was it different?
I wasn't expecting him to be for him to be this nice, and I was expecting for something, tense, because because sometimes people wants to talk. Now these days, everybody wants to promote fights, talking a lot of things, So, but I was glad, when I got here and I met him in person and he was that nice. I said, oh, that's good, because I'm the type of fighter that wants to show how good I am inside the octagon, not outside the octagon, saying many things, So it's part, to say some little things. It's part of the business, it's normal. But when you go, sometimes you cross the line, you say too much, and I'm glad it didn't happen here.
Well, I was going to ask you if you thought he crossed the line with any of the things that he put up about PEDs or steroids or anything. Did you think he crossed the line with any of those memes or anything?
I actually, they told me yes. I actually didn't see that, Yeah, I didn't see what he said, but man, the thing is, when you talk about myself, and I'm made of truth, and when you talk about myself, if you're saying something bad about me on steroids or something like that, or you're trying to to create a situation, or you're an ignorant person, because you don't know the news, or you don't read the news, like I said, I'm made of truth, Nobody has to doubt me. I'm made of truth. Everything what I build in my career is truth, and I am truth. So I'm fine with that.
Have you had a chance to watch some of his previous fights, and what have you thought about what he's been able to do going into this fight with you?
Yes, I've been watching his fights for sure, especially his last fight against Arlovsky, because it was the first time he fought 3 rounds. He's a tough guy, he walks forward, he's looking for the fight all the time, and I think it's good, it's going to be good for the fans, because he likes to stand up and bang, I like to stand up and bang, so 2 heavyweights throwing like hard points against each other inside the octagon, no doubt it's going to be a great show for the fans, So, but I'm expecting a good fight, and also I want to knock him out, I want to go back to the knockouts, and I'm planning to stud him on the first round, and the second and the third round go a little harder for the knockout.
I mean, obviously a former champion, one of the biggest names in the UFC, but do you feel like fans have forgotten about you a little bit? And with this matchup going all the way to Australia and fighting a guy like Tai, do you feel like it's an opportunity to show everybody that, hey, you're still in contention for the title and you still want to fight for that title again?
Yeah, for sure, actually,
I mean, was Tai the number 1 guy that you were thinking of fighting in this fight?
Actually, that's what my last fight was. The UFC knows that I don't pick opponents. Everybody knows that. I don't pick opponents. So what they do, they whatever they give me, I accept to fight anyone. So my last fight was against Black Boy, who was doing his debut on the UFC. You know, now I'm fighting Tai Tuivasa, who has 3 fights in the UFC. He's a young, coming up guy. You know, so sometimes people don't give the right credit for this type of fights. But we fighters, we know how tough these fights can be. You know, how dangerous these fighters are. You know, like Tai Tuivasa, he's a very dangerous guy, like Black Boy was. But we fighters know that. But the big crowd, they don't know that. You know, they don't give it enough credit. But I don't really care. You know, I know that my title fight is gonna come again. You know, it's a automatic. It's gonna happen. You know. I've been learning many things. I did some mistakes in the past, so I had some negative results, and I'm not fighting that often, you know. So now I wanna make things happen again, and start fighting more and more, and make the title fight happen again. Whoever the champion will be at this time, I'm gonna dethrone him.
I guess one of the biggest rivalries in the UFC is you and Cain Velasquez, and we know that Cain is looking to make a comeback, possibly to the UFC very soon. If you win here on the weekend,
possibly to the UFC.
Well, there's been talks about fact that he might be negotiating with other promotions. If he does come back to the UFC, is that a guy that you'd be looking at to fight and sort of finish that rivalry after having those 2 difficult fights with him?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, it's I'm looking. That would be great to have a 4th fight with Velasquez. You know, actually, I don't know much about him. You know, he's out for 3 years or something, and now there are some rumors that he's gonna come back or something like that. You know, I don't know what's really happening. You know, but now you're saying maybe he can go to another company. Why?
Will that disappoint you if you never got a chance to fight him again?
There's so many doubts in this sport, man. Because you know, like I told you guys, I'm made of truth. You know, I say that because I was the champion once again, and I'm rebuilding this. I'm on the top of the rankings all the time, you know, and fighting against tough guys all the time. I'm made of truth. I can do it again and again and again. You know, when you are made of truth, you can do this. You know, so these guys, man, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, I have many questions in my head, but no doubts. You know, I would love to fight him again. I would love to fight Miocic again, and maybe even Alistair Overeem. He did great in his last fight, so maybe we can have also a rematch. You know, I want to fight these guys because in my mind I committed mistakes on those fights. That's why they won. They are not better than me, and if they think it's done, it's not done. It's the only way it's done if they go away, like Cain Velasquez is doing, going away. Then it's done. If they stay here and they fight in the UFC, it's not done, and I'm coming for that.
Just on a bit of a side note, you got Mark Hunt next to you. It's his last UFC fight. You guys fought in 2013. I don't know if our videographer can get a shot. It's amazing that you guys are sitting next to each other. How do you feel about the fact that his UFC run's about to finish? And have you had a chance to speak to him? Is this the first time you've been around him since you guys fought?
Yeah, I was talking to him earlier, and man,
what did you say to him?
Just, you know, like complimenting him, and you know, not big deal. Actually, I'm a big fan of him. You know, he's a legend of this sport, one of the biggest legends of this sport. You know, and I feel sad, you know, because I would like to see more fights of him, because all the time he's inside the octagon, he gives us great shows. So it's not gonna be good to not having him anymore as part of the show, you know.
Well, we're excited to see what happens this weekend. Just quickly as we wrap up, I know you're looking for a knockout, but can you give us a prediction? What round do you think that knockout comes in?
Second round. That's what I think. You know, like I said, the first round is going to be more to see how the fight's going to be, and the second round I'm going to go harder for the knockout. It can be in the second or the third, but I bet on the second.
We're looking forward to seeing you, Junior. Good luck this weekend. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, guys.